Why have you just got blood written down?
Okay.
No, get to it. We'll
I
talk
am
about
not
it.
going to explain why I have written blood on a piece of paper. Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and I'm joined by Wib, say hello.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Drummer Matt, say hello.
Hello.
And how are you gents today?
Good.
Good, I'm glad. We've got a lot of stuff to discuss, and by a lot of stuff I mean probably not very much. Because the last few weeks have been pretty crazy for us.
Well, in fairness, one of the reasons why they've been crazy is because we finally did our big final gig and album launch for the band.
Yeah, we are not technically in a band anymore, and that feels... I feel quite abandoned.
No.
Oh man, fuck you, that was beautiful. I'm all about them puns today.
Have you been planning that since the gig?
No! I wish I could say I had, but that literally just came to me. I'm just...
Flash of inspiration to
Lightning.
ruin everyone's lives.
Lightning struck my brain, honestly.
But yeah, so we had our final gig and launched an album at the same time, which I'm sure somewhere a marketer is very angry with us for doing those two things at the same time.
Yeah, I was speaking to someone, I can't remember who it was, and they were talking about like plans, follow-up plans to the album and how we're going to promote it. I was like, well, I mean, we're not really going to bother because we're not a band anymore. And there was like the look on their face, it sort of, I can't remember who it was, but their faces went, oh shit. Like they didn't say it out loud, but you could tell that's what they were thinking.
It was kind of like, oh shit, these people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We're tired and old.
I mean, not sure about you guys, but as far as I'm concerned, we made the album for us.
Well, yeah.
And the fact that a brilliant amount of people supported it on the Kickstarter and were all lovely, and some people are going to be listening to it, is a fantastic bonus.
Oh,
but
definitely.
it is a bonus beyond the original objective of, I'd quite like to record the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Well, actually, speaking of which, a song from the album will be on the end of this podcast. So if you're on the fence as to whether you'd like to purchase the album from the many fine retailers that sell it,
iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, etc.
or at least when iTunes decides to get off their
Yes.
fucking arse and actually
Everywhere
put it on
except iTunes, and then eventually iTunes.
Yeah, but just yeah.
But yeah, one of the songs which I believe we're doing Gribblies
Yeah, I reckon
on the
so.
end. But yeah, that's going to be on the end. So if you want to hear a song from the new album, that will be on the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, the album launch and / final gig was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I got quite drunk.
You guys are both quite drunk,
I
weren't you?
wasn't, no.
Were you not?
No. See, I have an iron liver. Wib here is one of those lucky bastards who basically smells alcohol and goes, well, I'm away with the fairies, aren't I?
Yeah, I had like 4 pints, which for me is a lot these
yeah,
days.
Everyone kept buying him booze and it was hilarious because like he actually like on stage he stormed across stage and snatched the microphone from Dicko, which was the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed.
Think of them as like an adorable something, and this was more adorable. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Well,
This
if
is
anyone's
more-
caught a drunk stream before, then they know that I'm
Yeah.
very soppy while drunk.
You're
so.
an absolutely
Yeah, it
adorable
was that,
drunk.
but on stage.
But
and
it was
amazing.
also thoroughly annoying Dicko, so it was just like the perfect fucking moment. It was the best. Also, with because we had 2 other bands playing with us, because we were headlining, of course, because it'd be fucking weird not to headline your own farewell gig / album launch. That would be some serious like inferiority complex.
Well, the
going
weird
on
thing
there.
is there was one promoter that suggested that to us, which was a bit weird.
that's not even.
No, we're not going to speak about that. So we had Last Edition, who are like a really good, decent human version of us, who are talented.
Yeah.
And then there's Mr. Wolf, who are...
Who are Paul's sister?
The lead singer is called Paul, and we all quite like his sister. Let's just leave it at that.
Despite, I don't think we really are actually having met her.
No, she came to one
just-
of our gigs once, and I think that was one of the times
regretted
we were
it
like,
immensely.
Paul's sister! Fucking Paul's sister! And like, she was just in the audience clutching her drink going, I don't feel safe.
Just to provide context to all of this.
Okay. We were at a gig with Mr. Wolf, and they have a song where Paul, the lead singer, will start out by saying, "This is the song about a girl I lived with for 3 years and refused to have sex with me." To which, at this point, during the lull, I screamed, "It's Paul's sister." And since then, we have not failed to mention Paul's sister at any point ever while gigging.
Yep.
To the point where he started saying it before any of us can. Which is really, it fucking
Really
ruined the
weird.
fun. He was like, oh, this is a story. Yeah, my fucking sister, I get it. And then he'd just carry on and we'd be like, oh. And then we'd still scream it anyway. And we got like people who didn't even understand the in-joke at the final gig, screaming Paul's sister.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Because we also stole their song.
Yes.
We did, yes.
Because we had actually our final set of covers we did for the final gig were really weird when you think about it, because we played the cover that we usually play, which we do a cover of Propane Nightmares, which is on one of the old EPs. But every other cover we learned to play was actually a cover of a cover, because we played.
Technically, Propane Nightmares was, because when we decided to do that first,
Oh,
it
shit.
was because we saw
Another band
do it, and we thought, this could be amazing, but your version of it, bless you, is terrible. We could definitely do better.
That's literally
So
the reason we started
technically it is a cover of a cover.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So every cover was a cover of a cover, because we did that, and we did.
Everybody needs somebody
we
to
need
love.
Everyone needs somebody to love. Which we did the Blues Brothers version, which is actually a cover of the original, which I think is by Solomon Burke.
Yeah,
I think that's the name of the guy.
I
that did the
believe,
original.
yeah.
I don't think anyone knows that.
Oh,
apart from
yeah.
Yeah. He has approximate knowledge of many things.
And then we did a cover of 99 Red Balloons, which was a cover of Goldfinger's version, because we used to play that ages ago and we thought we'd revive it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that we did was Call Me Al, which is actually a cover Mr. Wolf do, and we constantly chant at them, ruining their gigs, so we thought it was only fair. So we thought it was only fair that we learned to play it, so that we got it ruined for us as well.
I think I had the best bass solo of my career.
It was beautiful.
It was, honestly, because in Mr. Wolf's version of Call Me Al, Adam, Mr. Wolf's bassist, who is a terrifying individual, genuinely frightening in every manner you can imagine, has a bass solo. And he fucks it up every goddamn time.
He's usually quite drunk.
Yeah.
And he's doing the drunken haze stare. If you've ever encountered someone who is so drunk, they're just kind of staring over everyone's heads, that's how he looks pretty much all the time. And he tries to do...
He's lovely, just as a slight
yeah.
interjection.
So he is a wonderful guy, but he is this big, frightening-looking motherfucker, but he's an absolute darling. And he fucks up his bass solo every time. So my solo... for Call Me Al, I bruised my knuckles on my right hand because I literally just started smashing and just punching my fretboard as hard as I fucking could. Apparently, Adam thought this was magical.
Like, it's a good job that he didn't get offended by it.
I was scared he was either going to like throw me out of a window or just like or the good option, which was enjoy it. I'm lucky it was the latter. I'm told he was incredibly pleased with my my cover of his particular bass solo. And like Paul, the lead singer, literally turned around to me afterwards, "It's still fucking better than Adam's." And I was like, "Yeah, mate." It was fantastic. And like at several points in the evening, we got on stage with the other bands and just annoyed them.
Yeah.
We
And
were
the thing
invited
is-
up in our defence.
So we don't really have, like, the funny thing is, like, we spent all this time, like, talking about, Mr. Wolf and, like, Last Edition played as well, and they were fucking amazing, but the thing is, we don't quite have as many weird running gags at their expense at them.
Oh no! Although they did start shouting Paul's sister and doing the Call Me Al chant as well, which is like, because they're amazing. They're an amazing bunch of people, but they're so talented. It's hard to like have in jokes about how crap they are because they're not.
Even though Mr. Wolf are quite good. It's just,
They're quite good, but it's we just pretend that we're both crap.
Yeah, that's it. Like, the self-deprecating humour between us and Mr. Wolf is ridiculous. Whereas, Last Edition are just a band that, like, we're actually competent.
And we're like, we respect
we
that.
know,
We can't fault you, and we're just like good mates anyway. So.
But yeah, so that last gig was a lot of fun, and it was a really good
Yeah.
send-off for the band.
It was fantastic fun, and you got quite drunk.
Yeah, so I played terribly, but it's okay.
You played pretty well, and you cut chunks out of your fingers.
You did at one point turn around to me and say, "Yeah, you know the solo bit in that song? Yeah, I didn't play that."
I didn't notice that.
I can't remember. It wasn't a solo. It was a lead bit. I think.
Oh,
was
it
it
was-
in? I can't remember.
It was in B4, which is one of the songs off the new album that you can purchase off all fine major retailers.
The new album, Insert Coin by Fighting Evil is Cool.
I was like playing the solo in that, and I just was fucking up all over the place. And then it got to like the end, and like I have to like change from distorted channel playing the solo and turn off an effect that's on that as well. And I got to that point, and my brain just stopped working, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm just playing in this setting now for this part. It's supposed to be in clean right now, but it's fine. It's distorted. No one's noticing. I don't have the coordination to do this right now.
So I'm going to steal Dicko's microphone.
And you just turned around with a huge grin on your face, being like, yeah, I didn't play that right. It's like, brilliant. And at that point, I realised he'd had a few drinks.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because normally when I fuck up something like that, then I'm actually genuinely mortified.
Oh, anxiety.
Yay.
But no, it's always fun when you're drunk. Because you're a soppy, silly person. As opposed to this hardened, cynical British exterior. Your bulletproof fucking cynicism. And then you get a couple of drinks and you're like, you know what? I like people. Occasionally.
Sometimes.
I don't want to poison the well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, we should probably talk about video games.
Yeah, we should probably talk about video games. So Wib, what have you been up to?
I have been playing Enter the Gungeon, for one.
I see.
Gungeon.
Gungeon.
A clever play on dungeon.
Oh.
Because gun.
With a gun.
Yeah. Does
you
it have guns in it?
Yeah, well, you not only fire guns, most of your enemies are bullets that fire guns, and the entire dungeon itself is literally a giant bullet that has a gun in it that you're trying to get to, which is so powerful it can kill the past.
This sounds like the most perfect story for a video game I think I've ever heard.
I'm kind of skimming over some details there, but that's basically
No.
it.
That's perfect. That sounds marvelous.
Yeah, it's a roguelike.
Are you also a bullet?
No,
Or
you're
a dude.
You're a person. But you can have various large guns.
Can I get my legs cut off and replace them with guns?
Only if you're in the movie Planet Terror, I believe.
Can I get all of my limbs cut off and replaced with guns?
You probably could, but I don't think it would be a valid use of your time, nor would it be convenient.
At the moment.
And you wouldn't be able to reload or fire any of them, so they'd just be really inconvenient prosthesis.
I'll get it.
It could be laser guns, then you wouldn't have to reload them. You just have to have like some sort of like energy source in your body.
Well, I eat food.
Yeah.
That's energy.
Yeah, basically at that point that'd just be like 4 laser pointers.
Yeah, you get excited for the op, you get out and you just be like, and you just annoy cats and that's it.
Actually, that
That's actually
works
worth it.
for me. I like annoying cats.
Anyway, the video game.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So it's like a roguelike.
Yep.
Permadeath sort of thing.
Is it a first person or is it like a top down?
It's a top down. Think Binding of Isaac. Style
Okay.
thing.
Yep.
Very fun. Really cute design.
Yeah, really nice, like pixel art, really cool music. Was really sold on the game by the first boss, which was a giant black bird with a large Vulcan cannon. So you go up to it and you go, so it's literally Vulcan Raven, and it goes, no, it's Gatling Gull.
No. It's Vulcan Raven, Giant and Shaman, and at that point I was like, yeah, video game. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm sold on this. The only problem is that it goes into the now long line of other roguelike games, along with Crypt and the Necrodancer and Downwell, that I really, really like, but I'm absolutely shit at. So I can't get very far in it. I mean, I think this is one unlike the other two where I think it's just a matter of just increasing my skill at the game, and I should be able to push through. But yeah, I've just done really badly when I've tried to play it, and that's kind of a shame because it's really fun.
You need to get good, Scrub.
I do need to get good. I did get a Super Soaker at one point that is apparently a devastating weapon.
Well, yeah, because water's cold and icky, and you'd be like, oh.
Because whenever you pick up a gun that's beyond your basic one, because your basic one has infinite ammo.
Right. Yeah,
But every time you pick up a gun, it has a set amount of ammo for it, and you get that like refilled at the end of a level.
Okay.
And yeah, one of them I got was just a fucking Super Soaker, which I think is actually how I killed Vulcan Raven, to be honest. There's also a pair of bullets that are like the Bullet Brothers, and one of them has like fucking Gurren Lagann glasses. So it looks like Kamina, which makes me happy anyway. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty good.
I'm sure that makes maybe at least one other person happy as well.
Yeah. Well, I hear it's quite a popular of the animes.
What, Kill la Kill?
That is also very good.
Yes.
But to go to the other end of the spectrum, I've also started playing Civilization, which...
A tad more serious.
You started dad gaming.
Yeah, it's a real dad game. Because the thing was, I
want it so much.
Oh, yeah.
New one.
I mean, I'm not playing Civ 6, I will say that, because I got gifted...
it's insanely expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because dads have a
new
lot of
games are
disposable
expensive,
income.
fine, but like on PC, they're usually like not really more than 40 odd quid.
Usually, like a big
$50
AAA
quid
one.
for Civ 6.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You're putting a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
But it's,
I'm pretty sure it was gifted to us by Gregonator, so thank you for that. But yeah, so playing Civ 5, because I remember playing Civilization 2 in like the late 90s. And when I was like, I guess I was like 13 at the time, and I was really into Roller Coaster Tycoon and Total Annihilation, and that was pretty much it. Those were like the two games I super liked. So when trying to play Civilization, what I really wanted was either an RTS or something that was more city buildery. And when it's actually a board game, basically, that was not what I wanted. I was like, this is boring bullshit and I hate it. And now I'm 30, I'm like, this is boring bullshit, I love it.
yeah.
Oh, God, I'm surrounded by dads.
But I'd not really played it before, apart from playing it, way back when and not really getting it. So it's just the base version of Civ 5 without the DLCs, which it was probably for the best. Because I needed something simple to kind of latch onto it. Cause I always kind of looked at the Civilization games and hear people talking about them, and people often talk about like the new game by referencing the old game and systems in the old game, so it can often make it seem kind of impenetrable.
Yep.
Of like, oh yeah, it's fine, but you know, the whole culture system is so much different to the old game. I really like how they did this to it, and I'm like, okay, what's a culture system?
You could say you've been culture shocked.
You could say that. You could.
If I was an idiot, which I'm not, which is why I didn't say it.
Yes, I've been playing that. I've played through 2 full rounds of it, just on its basic mode.
I feel like it's a sort of game that wouldn't have a tutorial.
It sort of does. You have advisors that sort of tell you what to do, especially early on.
Yeah.
So I played through once, and I was playing through as the King of Siam, I believe it was. Because on the default mode, at least in Civ 5 anyway, it just randomly assigns you someone, and then just picks like the easiest mode and sort of automatically generates all the stuff. So I played through that, the basic thing. It was like just the advised thing. So I was like, I played through the King of Siam. And I kind of left everyone alone, like just did trading with people just to like get various resources that weren't in my area, and like kept my like land small, and went through kind of a science tree, and eventually won the game by sending someone into space, because that's one of the.
It wasn't a fish this time.
It wasn't a fish. No,
Okay.
No.
Okay. Because that would have been really rad if you'd won Civilization by sending a fish into orbit. Like, hey, motherfuckers, I put a fish in space.
And they just stay away from you because
They'd
they're
be
like, that dude's fucking crazy, man.
Like, he literally spent years, hundreds of years of just human like education and enlightenment on sending a fucking fish into space. Do you think a fish gives a shit if it's weightless? Do you think it fucking cares?
But yeah, so I did the science victory the first time.
One small fin for man.
One giant paddle for mankind.
Yep. I just imagine this little fucking like rover with a goldfish bowl and just fucking zooming around the moon. Like, the fuck? The fish is just like, I don't give a shit because I'm a fucking fish and I don't have a brain properly.
I cannot comprehend the situation that I have been thrust into.
God, I'm so fucking stupid. Not in a bad way. Fish are just simple. They don't appreciate the fact that we sent them to the fucking moon. What were you saying?
Anyway.
Sorry, I just can't get past that. Like, fucking who the fuck sends a fish into space?
Ask Factorio me. So I did the first round and won a science victory. People left me alone.
I guess you can win in different ways.
Yeah, there's loads of different ways.
I've never played as much as it would be a perfect game for me. I think I own Civ 4 on disc somewhere, but it didn't run on the computer that I bought it for.
Okay.
And then I just never quite got around to it.
Yeah, you can win in various ways. You can do there's like a diplomacy victory where you make the UN and convince everyone to quit being dicks. Is basically, I'm pretty sure what it is. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. You can just kill everyone and take over everyone's land. And it's like, okay, you can do that, but there's also, various ways of doing it diplomatically. I think there is a trade one as well, but I'd have to
become China, so like no one wants to start a war with you because they can't like live without you.
Possibly
cynical, but I like it.
That might be me just inventing things in my mind. I haven't. Yeah. I've only done a few bits of it. I've only played through 2 full games, but those do take like at minimum like 6 hours. So I've actually played a fair bit. So I did that the first time. Mostly I was left alone. Queen Elizabeth, because all of the leaders of the lands are like some famous person from that country's history. Yeah. So Queen Elizabeth I tried to get me to wage war on everybody. And I was like, no, Lizzie, I'm not into that. I'm trying to build a spaceship over here.
Is she like the Elizabeth from Blackadder?
Unfortunately not.
Then I don't fucking care.
So I went into a second game where it randomly assigned me to be Genghis Khan.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, so I'm going to go, rather than do what it expects of me and make a warlike race, I am going to win by my superior culture. I'm going to go for a culture victory, which you do by when you build things on your cities, they can have, say, like a science bonus or a cultural bonus or whatever. So you build lots of museums and things. It gives you lots of culture.
Like art galleries.
And then you can spend those culture points. And once you've gone down, I think it's 5 full trees of different types of culture. So there's like a religious tract, a warlike one, a trade one, various different ones. And once you've gone down 5 of those, then you can build the Utopia project in one of your cities, which just wins you the cultural thing for reasons. I think basically everyone looks at you and goes, wow, they're pretty fucking cultured. That's pretty impressive.
There's a thing in there called Utopia or whatever. That
is well good.
That's pretty good.
I think that's what happens.
They probably don't stab each other with forks.
So I tried to do that and I thought, well, I'll do what I did last time, which I'll just trade with people where I need to, and I'll try and get along with everyone. That'll probably work. Yeah, that did not work.
Who did you piss off?
Well, I had next to me George Washington.
Right.
And I thought, he's probably going to be okay. I'll probably be able to just trade with him, like keep out of his way, and he'll leave me alone. And on the other side of me, I had Napoleon and Queen Elizabeth. So I was like, alright.
What an eclectic bunch.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. I'll leave everyone alone, and they'll probably be okay with me. Probably fine. So I started building my things. I've got like limited military just to deal with barbarians. And just in case anything goes down. Out of fucking nowhere, about 50 turns in, because there's fucking 500 turns or whatever fucking it takes to get to to kind of present day or some bollocks like that. Out of nowhere, both Washington and Napoleon just declare war on me. They sit there and go, "We've had enough of your bullshit. We're gonna make a stand against you." And I'm just sitting there going like, what the fuck have I done?
You will learn our peaceful ways by force.
And the funny thing is what happened is France was just just basically declared war on me for ages and just sent a small amount of people at me, just being a dick at me for a while. And then eventually I just got fed up with them and just kind of just went, here, just accept this trade agreement. To have peace with me. Here, I'll give you some fucking money for a while, just piss off. And they were like, yes. What happened with America was kind of the other way around. Is Washington kept sending forces at me, which I, roundly slaughtered because they kept sending me near a port town, so I just had boats that were just firing artillery at them. Slaughtered them, and then after 5 turns of that, they basically went, can we make peace with you and also have all these gold and horses and iron that we have? And I was like, too fucking right. And they never bothered me again the entire game. However, France just periodically waged war on me for no reason, just wasting my resources.
That just sounds like that's the Englishman in you talking, I'm going to be honest.
Yes. The only thing that saved me from being constantly harassed by them is that at a certain point, Elizabeth expanded and built a city right in the middle of the land between France and me. They actually built Nottingham because they're named after places.
No man's land.
And so for the rest of the game, France and England were at war, which is actually fairly accurate to world history. That France and England spent...
And it's all Nottingham's fault.
Yeah, I blame Nottingham.
Yeah. Most people do, let's be honest.
So, yeah, they just spent the entire time fucking killing each other, and then eventually I built my big building, everyone went, oh, that's well impressive, that is. And then I won.
That's it.
I see.
Yeah, Civilization is a strange game. I haven't encountered Gandhi yet, though.
Apparently he's a nuclear bastard.
That's probably a good thing. Maybe he's not on... They don't even put him in the easy mode.
He's the fuck you mode.
Not sure if you're joking now or not.
Oh, okay. In Civilization 1... I think it was in Civilization 1, because it's been pretty much the same thing, just progressively more complex and fancier graphics. Yeah. But they've always had the thing of having famous world leaders being the characters, and for India it was Gandhi. And he had like his pacifism set to like the highest thing. Like he was the least warlike.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that they gave him there was a trait that they also gave him that meant that he was even less likely to start a war with someone. But what that actually did was set his thing into like it looped round. So he actually became the most aggressive warlike thing in the entire game and is the most prone to nuke the shit out of you.
Oh yes, Gandhi the warlord.
And they've just kept that in every game. Really? So Gandhi is like literally fantastic. Death incarnate. Which is just amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, I haven't encountered him yet. But yeah, so I've been quite enjoying it. I'm obviously playing it like it's vanilla Civ 5. And I hear Civ 6 is a lot better in terms of having a lot more features, because there are a lot of turns where you're not really doing anything.
Yeah, I only know these things because I watched Total Biscuit's video on the new one, and he was saying that with 5, especially if you grew up with the ones beforehand, with 5 it wasn't very good when it first came out until it had all the DLCs and everything. Whereas 6, it's actually worth upgrading from 5 to get. Rather than waiting for it all to come out.
Yeah, I can totally see that. As someone who's not played any Civ game, then Civ 5
probably a good place to start.
Yeah, it being quite simple is good for me. But I can totally see that an expansion on a lot of things would be really, really good. And maybe down the line I'll buy more DLCs or just go fuck it and buy Civ 6 when it's,
a reasonable price
and isn't the most expensive thing in the universe, which would be good. But no, so that's been a lot of fun and has taken up an ungodly amount of time.
Well, yeah, you played 2 games, which is approximately, 3 weeks of play?
Well, no, it's like I played 2 games and it took me 12 hours. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's on the easiest mode, so,
Wait until you get to Gandhi.
Yeah, I'll start ramping up and go to Gandhi nukes my arse mode and it'll all go wrong.
And the games will be shorter, presumably.
Well, possibly.
Because you won't live past, 3 turns.
Although I can see that the game could actually be really, really bad like that. If, when you get to, the higher things, if you get, your shit wrecked at the very end of the game, you've put in, you could have put in 6 to 10 hours into that game to have it all robbed away from you at the end.
Because Gandhi nukes you.
Because Gandhi nukes the shit out of you. That would be fucking depressing.
I mean, I guess, if that happened in real life, it'd be quite depressing.
Well,
so I suppose it's quite good, I guess.
You're not wrong.
Damn it, Gandhi.
Elaborate political satire there by the drummer mat. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing, so...
What I've taken out of this is just a final thought. So all the leaders are named after real leaders.
Yeah.
But they presumably live from when does it start? In the Stone Ages, or is it later than that?
Fuck it is. Yeah, it's around. It's super primitive man territory.
Until can you go into the future, or does it just go to present day?
It goes to the future.
But the same leader lives for that entire length.
Yes.
It's like a dystopian, everything.
Technically, individual troops can as well, because you can keep troops from the very start of the game alive the entire time. You can upgrade them. along the way. Now, I think the way of thinking about it in kind of a metagamey kind of concept is that what's actually happening is that that's just a regiment, and obviously people go in and out of the regiment.
People,
but in my head, what's actually happening is that you start off with a bunch of guys with like stone axes, and eventually you several thousand years pass, and at some point these same people are in attack tanks or helicopters. And they're just left bewildered by everything that's happened to them.
What even is it?
Because, you just upgrade them, and so you just have this surreal thing of like, oh shit, I've got to upgrade these people. They were medieval knights. I best put them in tanks.
Like,
Horses and all. Just jam them in.
Jam the horse.
Oh no, the horses turn into helicopters. What madness are you talking about?
I think Civ 5's really good for history lessons.
Horses turn to helicopters.
Yeah.
That's what I've read.
Well, I'm sorry, but when was the last time you saw a horse, and when was the last time you saw a helicopter in the same room? Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't share the same space because they're the same things. I guess. Civ 5 says
A
so.
horse just spinning around really fast trying to be a helicopter now.
Just its head completely still, but its body just spinning around.
Or possibly the head spinning around really fast, and that's how it propels itself upwards. That's how lift is generated.
Well, they do have long manes. Maybe that has something to do with their aerodynamics, or what? I'm not talking about horses' aerodynamics.
Put a horse in a wind tunnel, I'm sure it's fine. It won't mind.
See, that just reminds me of an old joke, like, how do you make a skeleton? Put a leper in a wind tunnel. My dad told me that, and I told that to a teacher at school. I got detention so hard. Like, literally, my parents were like, why isn't she home? And they were like, she told this horrifyingly tasteless joke. And I'm like, I don't see the problem. I'm like 6 years old. I just repeat shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done, by the way.
Okay. That's probably good.
Snipe, what have you been doing?
Well, I've not been doing that much, apart from playing WoW and Overwatch.
Well, yeah.
Because I'd managed to, because Overwatch had a free weekend last week.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. My brother, because he listens to the podcast, hi, and sorry. I think he got so fed up of me talking about Overwatch, he went and played it, and now he owns it, and we played like every day since he's got, and it's awesome because we never really had a game to play because he's into like Battlefield and all those other ones. So yeah, I've been playing that. I've been playing WoW because of course I fucking have.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Doom 4 Arcade. So, if you don't know, Doom 4 had an update a few weeks ago, a month ago, a while ago.
Which is the most recent Doom? Is that
Doom 4?
That is Doom.
Yeah, well, it's
just
Doom.
It's just Doom.
But I always refer to it as
yeah,
Doom 4
okay.
because I hate that fucking trend of...
Yeah.
Just causes confusion. It got patched and they added an arcade mode, which is basically just score points and rip and tear.
When did they add that?
I think it was like a month or so ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't really play it, and I gave it a go, and it's... The way it kind of goes is, you go in to load your levels or whatever, and it's got arcade mode. So you click on arcade mode, and you can pick which level you want to play.
Is it single player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you decide the difficulty, and then you go in, and you've got to basically kill everything. Like, pick up all the items, get a high... Because there's like a multiplier that goes up to like 32, I think. You've got to just go and murder fucking everything and get as many points as you can.
It's just segments from the main campaign, isn't it?
Yeah. And they've added a few more things, like there's these weird mines that if you shoot they explode and it drops a relic, which is more points, and like little Doom Guy dollies give you extra lives. Because, the biggest problem I have with this, because I tried it on above, like, normal, and I got fucking mutilated so hard. And these levels are kind of long, so when you die, you have to start from the beginning. And that's just like, it's cool and all, but that's so fucking irritating. Like, earlier, I literally rage quit because I cleared a room and there was one enemy left and it had phased through the floor. And you can't proceed until the demonic threat level has been reduced to 0. That's literally an in-game thing.
Yeah.
And it was just under the floor being like, guess what, I got my lasers and I'm lasering you. I'm like, I can't. I was throwing grenades at it. I just couldn't fucking kill it.
Why didn't you just phase through the floor yourself?
Because...
Seems like a sensible thing to do in that situation.
In hindsight, yeah, I probably should. But no, but it's not really that much. I mean, they did add like a multiplayer DLC because apparently they're fucking idiots. And they want to, like, as far as I'm aware, I think it's like a new map. I don't know. But yeah, I think multiplayer DLC is just a really piss poor move, and it does like separate the player base.
What is it? Paid DLC?
I think so, yeah. Because like every time I click on it, it takes me to the Steam store,
Oh, okay.
and it's like, meh. But yeah, so I mean, it's not really that. I mean, it's interesting if you want to like see how many Sados there are out there with billions and billions of points that you'll never even get on the leaderboard for. Then yeah, go for it.
One of those sort of things.
Yeah, because I was looking, I was like, oh, I got 3 million points on this. That's really good. No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. That's like baby's first fucking go at computer games ever.
Oh, it's like when you look at like global achievement statistics on like a game, and you go, "Oh, I got that achievement. That was really hard to get. I wonder how many other people have got that. 70% of people have got that, and all of them have got the achievements that you can't get near." Oh,
yeah.
well,
you're just kind of like,
fuck.
oh, this is fine. This is fine. But yeah, not much really else changed about that. I've also, which made Drummer Butt laugh pretty severely.
Your notes just, it says Doom 4 Arcade, and then it just says the word blood on a new line. No brackets and explanations. It just says just blood.
Do you want to give me an insight? What do you think that could be about?
I mean, with anything really with you.
Okay, wow. True, but no.
Blood Bowl. If it was me, it'd be Blood Bowl at the moment.
It's not Blood Bowl.
Bloodborne? One of those
It's
ones?
not Bloodborne, no. Older.
Is there a game called Just Blood?
Yes.
Ah,
There is a game called Just Blood. There you
why
go.
you wrote Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, technically,
well.
isn't it blood one whole unit?
Well, one whole unit blood, yeah. This is the thing. This is a relatively new addition. I mean, I guess maybe I was just a dumb shit kid and I didn't realise it had a full name. I played the shit out of Monolith's Blood as a kid, and it scared me because I was a dumb shit kid, and pixels are scary. It's a first-person kind of like Doomy kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's kind
Is
of...
that what you were playing on?
That's what I was playing when you came in, yeah. I was wandering around that hedge
The thing
maze
that
with my
looked
flare
like
gun.
Doom.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I thought you were playing Doom 4 and your graphics card had broken.
No, don't get me started on that fucking graphics card. Don't get me fucking started on my graphics card. Okay. Fucking radiant piece of shit. Fuck.
Right.
Blood looks way better than Doom 4 on our fucking graphics card, let me tell you. And I can run it slightly better. First person shooter, kind of horror themed. Like, oh god, it's so adorable now, like the story. Like, look, you boot it, it's... Oh, look, I did games dev at college, and some of people's first, like, animations / models are so much better than this shit Monolith made. It's just... Oh, it's awful. It looks like really crappy clay. And, like, the story...
You're talking about the in-game cinematics here.
The beginning of it, like, it's like a minute long, it's quite short. But the basic story, which is you get it in the beginning and then you get an FMV at the end. And the beginning is like, you, Caleb, and your girlfriend Ophelia are dark servants of an evil cult. Very high ranking.
Yeah.
You're good at what you do. You're the bad guys.
Because you want to be able to associate with the characters you're playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, red glowing eyes, pure evil. I get that.
I mean,
I get that.
I too am a high-ranking member of an evil cult, so
Yeah.
I understand this. I'm on this guy's side
No,
already.
it's just nice to finally have some representation.
Oh, absolutely.
In video games. is what I'm saying.
Normally we're treated like fucking trash.
Oh yeah,
like,
we're the cannon fodder, but not going to start talking about that. Yeah. So your like evil god demon thing brings you into its chamber room and is like, and you're like, okay, my master, what is your will, master? And he's like, I'm disappointed in all of you. You failed me. I'm disavowing every single one of you. And then all of the servants around the room start like melting or like get flash fried or all their skin falls off their bones. And he's like, I'll take your love. And like, yeah, someone comes and snatches your girlfriend. And she's like, ah, shit. And then he's like, and you, he's like, you have to like, he basically buries you in undeath because you're basically undead. It's like, so he buries you for, I think, like 100 years. Which is why in the very first level, you jump out of a grave with a pitchfork saying, I live again. And not just because Evil Dead was cool. Okay?
It does come from that era of
is.
first-person shooters, which are made about, I want to say, 75 to 80% of references to movies.
It's not that bad compared to some of the other ones that were at the time. It's still bad.
It's at full Duke Nukem mode, though.
I'd say it's slightly less intolerable than Duke Nukem, but yeah, okay. I got it on Steam. And I forgot that Steam is not a good platform to buy old games on.
No, it is
No,
not.
I should have got it on GOG, but like I managed to just about make it work. But unfortunately, we can't stream it. So it's like... But yeah, I've been replaying that, and oh my god, I feel like a little girl again. It's so good. Like, I mean, in a good way. It's perfect. Like, I went through it, and I was remembering secrets, and like going, I feel I should go over here, and then there's like a like double weapon power up, and I'm like, yes, thank you, fucking like 6-year-old me for remembering this shit. And I completed the first bracket of missions today, because it's the old kind of school thing of you select a difficulty, and then it's like, which chapter basically do you want to play? And yeah, I completed the first one where
aren't all the chapters Evil Dead references?
They're all horror references. So like the first one is like, I can't remember what the first one is, but I know one of them is Even Death May Die.
Oh yeah. Doing the Cthulhu references.
Yeah, like there's things like that. And the first step, like E2M1 is like basically kind of, I don't know if it is, but it really reminds me of the Mountains of Madness. Of course, it pales in comparison to Dueling Mysteries, Mountains of Madness.
Of course,
but it was a different time.
You know, the funny thing is that I actually played a fair bit of that to get that footage, and to make sure that that when writing that script, I wasn't just going to be taking the piss out of that game unnecessarily.
Oh no, it was necessary.
Oh, I played it. It's totally necessary to take the piss.
Oh god.
At one point, you make a page of the Necronomicon that's a nice coloured picture of an axe. You can use that axe in the Match 3 game to break a certain amount of tiles.
Oh, that's the death of everything that I love.
It really is.
Ugh. But yeah, I missed so much about it, because I did try and play it like a little while ago, and I just got so frustrated with the Steam version being balked. But I've gone in and I fixed it, and I completed the first chapter. I've gone through the second one. I'm hopelessly lost in the hedge maze in the second one, which is like a weird kind of like shining, spooky kind of thing.
In fairness, it is a hedge maze.
It is literally a hedge maze.
The purpose of a hedge maze is usually to get you lost.
And guess what? I fucking got lost. But okay, so this is where the spiders come in, and I fucking hate the spider enemies. I'm not like really scared of spiders, not anymore. Not after the accident, but. I refuse to elaborate.
No, you used to be petrified.
I used to be petrified of spiders. Then I was just like, I'm sick of being scared of spiders, and now I'm getting better.
Well, I think the thing is that after living in Australia for a long time and being rightfully petrified of the spiders there that can literally kill you, and then moving here to Britain, where spiders are just things that will occasionally scurry out and literally just be terrified of you. And eventually you finally learn the fact that they aren't actually dangerous to you.
For now, but yeah.
But understandably, you had a kind of carryover fear of these scurrying things that in a previous country you lived in could kill you.
Well, yeah, that's my defense, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, like the first one's enemies are kind of like, you get cultist in a brown robe, weak dude. Cultist in a black robe, who's tougher. Weird zombies. Gargoyles. Did not like gargoyles. Creepy shark men, which always scared me.
They're basically street sharks.
Yeah, like creepy fucking street sharks, and then like little barracuda things, and you get and rats, which are such a pain in the fucking dickhole, honestly. Like you have to crouch with your pitchfork and just kind of back up and go because they're so fucking irritating to kill. Second one, it's got these big fat guys that barf on you, and of course, say join us because Evil Dead's cool. Oh, and there's the fucking spiders. I mean, like, there's also, you get hands in them. You get hands in one of them. I can't remember which one it is, that choke you.
No,
and they scurry about saying, "I'll swallow your soul," because Evil Dead is cool. Yeah, I'm starting to regret what I said to you earlier.
Yeah,
but yeah. And those things used to scare the fuck out of my brother and I. My brother was always so much braver, and that's why he can like watch horror movies on his own and stuff now. So we'd be playing it, and then we'd just hop up on like the kitchen sink, like in game, and just be like, ah! And there'd be like three of them just talking over each other, telling us that they were going to swallow our soul. And then there's the fire dogs that fire doesn't work on, which I always thought was pretty cool. I am going to like write a review on it for the channel, but I've just been really enjoying playing that again and just being like, everything is nice and pure with the world.
It's nice to go back to an old game and be like, oh, it's not just nostalgia glasses making me think this was good.
Yeah,
it's actually quite good fun.
It's actually very... I was surprised at how much I was enjoying myself. I was like, holy shit, this isn't making me want to fucking explode or anything. This is actually pretty cool.
You know what's even nicer? If you manage to do that to a game you don't have any nostalgia for, where you go back to an old game that everyone says is fucking amazing, and you just assume it's all nostalgia, and then you go back to it, and then you're like, actually, this is really good. Like, I had that with the original Castlevania. Of like, oh, this is probably alright. But like, it's probably a lot of nostalgia, and then like I played it and I was like, fucking hell, this is amazing. And then like, I actually like suffered through and actually fucking beat that thing, and it's notorious for being difficult, and I'm notorious for being bad at video games. So that was a real achievement for me.
You did pretty well.
I mean, how many hours did it take you?
I care not to disclose that.
At least 1 billion.
It did take me quite a while. I will not lie.
But you did it.
Yeah.
You did it, which is rad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, having watched you play Blood, because I never even heard about it before meeting you.
It wasn't a particularly popular game. I think it was Monolith's first game.
It was Monolith's first game, yes.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard about it before meeting you, and yeah, watching you play it, it's like, this does look quite good, cool, actually. Like, just lots of little cool advancements on the sort of formula that Doom kind of
Is it the same era as Doom? Is it...
Yeah,
is it mouse driven, or is it keyboard, like full keyboard?
It's both, because you can configure controls, but like it's back in the day when it would be like arrow keys and left control to shoot, that kind of thing. So that is kind of like set up there, and like you can't look up and down. There are like look up and look down buttons, which just skew everything horribly. So you just don't fucking touch them. So it's old-ish. I can't remember exactly when it's from time wise.
I think it's from like 2 years or so after Doom. I might be wrong there, but it's a few years after Doom.
Well, because
Doom's 94, right?
I think it was 93. Well, 93, 94.
Yeah.
But yeah, it must have been like 95, 96 or something. I don't know. But yeah, and like I fell in love with that game so hard. I was like scared to death of it because, you know, for some reason like Doom and games like that, and like Alone in the Dark scared me as a little girl. Now, you look at that game nowadays, it's fucking stupid. Like, what's the fucking kangaroo thing that looks like it's made out of fucking bubblegum? What the fuck? Like, but no, that game scared the shit out of me. And yeah, just playing it as an adult and just being like, memories. It's fantastic. Yeah. And then like the second one came out, and you see, at the time I loved it because it was quite rare at the time for video games to try a proper story. Like with cutscenes and things. That wasn't a common thing.
It's for that genre, certainly.
For that genre especially, and I was blown away by Blood 2. I was just like, oh my god, they've literally stopped the game so these two characters can have a conversation. It was a stupid conversation for twats, but I was just like, oh my god, I loved it.
Was it pre-Half-Life 2? Not Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1. Blood 2.
I don't honestly know. It looks a bit better.
Because that might be why, because because everyone played Half-Life 1, because that kind of changed how first-person shooters were.
Honestly, at the time, I hated Half-Life 1. I thought the fact that Gordon Freeman never spoke, that turned me right the fuck off. I was like, no, this is bad. And just to stop fucking playing. And then like I tried to play Blue Shift, and then like I was like, oh, it's a different protagonist. I'm probably going to talk this time. Fucking no. And then fucking one of the scientists got stuck in a door and was like, I'll wait here. And the whole fucking level. And I was like, fuck this game. Fuck this game.
Is Blue Shift the one where you play as Barney?
I think so, yeah. And I was just like, look, I tried like several times to genuinely enjoy it. I'm gonna go back to my Blood 2, where they're like quoting The Crow, which is a fuck awful movie, and I don't care who knows it. And it's just, ugh. The thing about like Blood 2 though is like, you play as Caleb, like the main character. That's where you get the story. If you play as any other of the Chosen, like Ophelia, Gabriella, or Ishmael, you don't get a story.
Right.
The story just doesn't happen.
Oh.
Like,
Why would you play as anyone else?
Well, they have different kind of stat weights.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, Gabriella is, like, she's the tank. She's, like, 6'6". She's fucking huge. She's wearing massive, like, armor. And she can deal with the really heavy weapons. That means she gets more ammo and stuff for the big, heavy weapons. Ophelia is quite short. She's kind of like, she's more mana based, so there's a lot of weapons that kind of have more mana. So she'll have more ammo with like psychic weapons. Like there's an orb that you fire with like psychic powers that has like hooks that dig into the person's face and drill into their skull.
Ah.
It's rad. It's so rad. And I remember flipping my shit because it hovers in their hand and you can see their reflection in it. And it's like a still image, but I always thought that was fucking amazing.
Those sort of things can be an oddly immersive thing to actually have your character in first person have some kind of to feel like they might actually be there. I remember seeing someone talk about that in one of I think it's Metroid Prime, I think it's the first Metroid Prime, where if there's a large explosion, you will see Samus's face reflected on the inside of the visor.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, they're saying that is oddly immersive, because you stop feeling like a camera moving around and feeling like you're actually the person.
Damn, I'm pretty. But yeah, and like, it was not a very good game, but I tried to play it like a couple of years ago, and I got stuck in the hospital so hard, and it's like
Blood 2.
Yeah, Blood 2, and it was just like there was no real sense I could make of it. I was like, I don't understand what I've missed, and it's not really communicating it to me. And I know like get good and whatever, but it just the levels in Blood 1 like they tend to make a bit more sense. And you'll tend to notice like, oh, I passed the skull door, and then like at the end of the level you get the skull key and you're like, I remember where the skull door was. So you know. Whereas like Blood 2 is just like, fucking deal with it, nub scrub.
Well, I wonder if that's to do with the fact that Blood 1 was made very much in the era, like the Doom era, so game levels for first person shooters were these kind of labyrinthine, like big maze things, where you were like constantly going from some point in it to unlock a bit elsewhere, which unlocks a bit in another place, and kind of just goes like that. And a lot of them were designed like that with lots of hidden secrets and things. And then as they went on, they gradually shifted away from that to the more kind of linear thing that basically kind of reached its ultimate like linear point of just being a fucking corridor.
Yeah.
With sort of the modern military shooters. Before they started getting better.
Yeah.
And things like, the latest Doom came out, and,
I really want a Blood remake that's like Doom 4. I know that...
Yeah, but it just
they
be called
fuck it up.
Blood.
Yeah, no.
That'd annoy you.
This is the thing. Like, I would take it if they made, like, the equivalent. They'd make it that good. As good as Doom 4 is, I would be okay with them being, like, calling it just Blood. Because that would, oh my god, that would be so perfect. I mean, it's never going to happen, because fucking barely anyone remembers Blood. Yeah. But I remember it, and I love it.
And Monolith these days are too busy making licensed things.
Yeah, they just...
Because the last two things they made were like Gotham City Imposters.
I know.
And they did make Shadow of Mordor,
which was like people love that game.
Yeah, I never got around to playing it, but I hear it's fantastic. But still, they're two licensed things.
Yeah.
Because hell, Monolith don't even make the F.E.A.R games anymore.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
not that the F.E.A.R games are any good anymore, but
no, but they would at the time. The F.E.A.R games were fucking phenomenal. Like, F.E.A.R 1 was amazing. It looked great. It was like, we've never encountered this before, so we don't know it's not very good. But it was fucking just so different. And so scary.
F.E.A.R worked really, really well before you wise up to the mechanics behind it. Of where you can feel the gears change, but in the engine when you're in a shooty part and when you're in a spooky part.
Because if there's dudes there, you're in a shooty part. No spooks here.
But then when all the dudes go away, you go, okay, the game switched gears. Oh, there's some spooky music. Okay, I'm okay to not worry about having any reaction time now, because all that's going to happen is Alma's going to pop out at me and go a bloogie woogie woo in my face every now and again.
Yeah, but that just kind of shows you that, like, Monolith gets horror for the most part. And it's like, I'm not saying, like, oh yeah, remake Blood and make it a genuine, honest-to-God horror game, because that's it's Evil Dead 2 horror.
Yeah.
It's slapstick fucking stupid-ass horror. And that's what makes it fucking fantastic.
It's a haunted house thing. It's not like actually psychologically like damaging. It's just kind of good, spooky fun, might make you jump.
It's so... yeah. God. That's all I want for Christmas is a Blood remake worthy of, like, Doom.
At the very least, I'd settle for a brutal Doom equivalent.
That would be amazing as well.
Actually, what engine does Blood run on? Do you know? Is it like Is it like the Duke engine, or is it just its own engine?
Honestly, I don't want to say because I just don't know.
Because I think that
I'm gonna Google it straight after we record this, though.
Because I think there is a because what's it called? I think it's GZ Doom.
GZ Doom, yeah.
Is the thing that makes Brutal Doom work. Because actually, Brutal Doom's just a kind of mod for that, which makes Doom basically render in a modern style and be properly 3D. And I think there is an equivalent of that for the Duke engine, which is the build engine. I think it's called.
I think it is.
There is an equivalent of that for the Duke engine. So if it does run on the Duke engine, then you might be able to actually make it run like a kind of modern kind of way.
Maybe I
might be speaking out my arse though. So.
Probably, but I mean the thing is like Old Blood still works, so I can still have a good old like fucking rollicking good time.
You said there's a Blood 2.
There's Blood 1 and there's Blood 2, and I think there was an add-on for Blood 2 called the Nightmare Levels, which I also own. But yeah, it's basically 2 and a 0.5.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can recommend Blood, just don't buy it on Steam. Go to GOG or something. They actually, like, I don't know, curate their stock.
Yeah. I don't know, actually. I've not actually looked at the GOG page to see if their port of it. I mean, I imagine it probably is good, because GOG usually is.
GOG are fantastic with, like, that kind of thing. So, I mean, I trust them a whole lot more than I do Steam.
I think the only thing I've ever seen people have problems with is that some of the games that we talked about in our old 40k retrospective...
Oh, yeah.
That were old DOS games... And we said basically how some of them had major issues running on a modern machine, even when GOG actually like properly ported across a couple of those to work on a modern machine. Some of them still have major fucking issues. Like Chaos Gate apparently still has some real big issues.
Chaos Gate 3.1?
What, Windows 3.1?
Yeah.
No, I think it was a Windows 95 game.
I think it's like the majority of games made with 3.1 just you can't get to work because they are fucking bullshit.
I still find one of the hardest eras to actually get stuff working sometimes can be like early 2000s, like really early XP stuff. Because the stuff from like 3.1 often also ran on DOS. And you can just run DOSBox, and most things run on DOSBox fine. But like stuff from like the early 2000s, some of that just will not run properly.
Probably because they're all experimenting with their own wanky engines and things.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like I've had more trouble getting stuff running from that period, like late 90s to early 2000s, than like early 90s, or even like we're going far back like really 80s games. Because again, you can just run them on fucking DOSBox and it works fine.
That's the thing. It's like either really old or really new games you're fine with. It's the middle ground that fucks you.
Yeah, just that it is like the early XP. I don't know why. I think it's because a lot of stuff changed on like the architecture of Windows between XP and the modern stuff. So it all went a bit fucky.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
Sounds like that. It all went a bit fucky.
That's my technical conclusion based on my experience.
Went a bit fucky. So yeah, Blood, great game. Really enjoy it. Doom 4 Arcade. Play Blood instead. Or just play Doom again, because it's like it'll entertain you for like maybe an hour, but it's not really like a massively interesting addition. Yeah, there's someone we haven't heard from.
There is indeed.
Drummer Butt, what you been up to?
I have basically nothing to talk about, to be honest.
Awesome.
It's probably good down at the end.
Yeah.
It's just been crazy busy. So we had the gig
been up to?
up until Friday, and there was just somehow an alarming amount of organising for all the... I mean, you had all the artwork and stuff to do, and there was just the amount of organising to get an album out and to get the gig sorted and things. Just like...
And also saying we could send out all the Kickstarter stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was a fun trip to the post office, wasn't it?
Fun. Hey, we went back to the post office today to ship something else.
Did they go, not you?
I went in, there's a load of self-service machines, and we went around just like, oh, that one's my favourite, we'll go to that one. Because I was like, I spent so long with this machine.
We've bonded.
It got a weird look from the people who work there.
What, because they recognised you and they were like, oh God, he's back, he's going to put his dick in the fucking self-service machine. It's not that kind of self-service, you sick bitch. I'm going to post my dick to India.
All of the Kickstarter came with something extra. Yeah.
Oh, he put a little bit of himself in every parcel.
They're not sealed with glue, that's all I'm saying.
Gross.
Yeah, that is really fucking gross, could you not?
So yeah, gig stuff, and then as soon as the gig was there, we had approximately a week to move house, basically. and not just move house, but move house to be in no house. So
you moved house to be in no house.
Yeah, I am.
You don't want to try that again?
Currently, no, I have moved house to be in no house. I'm currently jobless and homeless.
Awesome. But you do have somewhere to stay. You
yes,
shit.
yeah.
You probably made everyone worry there.
No, it's all fine.
Is the couch all right?
It's an in-between thing before we go on an adventure. As people might have picked up from various past things about you mentioning potentially having more time to play games.
What, with you being homeless and, and jobless as well?
Yeah, jobless helps with playing games.
Well, I can imagine.
So yeah, all of our stuff is now stored in boxes ready to move to France.
Oh!
Which is quite exciting.
Why are you going to France? They're always starting wars with Matt.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He's literally chosen a side.
I know.
And it's not yours.
Very disappointed.
Ugh. You just want to go there and eat eclairs.
Next time we record... So I guess I won't be on the podcast for the next couple of episodes, potentially. Because before we go to France, we're going to Australia and New Zealand. Which is ludicrous.
What do you want to go there for? It's shit. It's fucking shit.
I've heard so much good things from you about all the death spiders and
mate,
ridiculous temperatures.
You ever been to Australia before?
Yeah, I've been a couple of times.
You ever encountered a cockroach?
I don't remember, so that suggests no.
Either that or you've blanked it out because it's been so traumatic. What about huntsmen? You ever encountered one of those?
They're spiders.
They're fucking
Yeah.
huge. No?
No.
Well, I hope you don't encounter them. And I'm pretty sure some of the sheep in Kiwi land are poisonous.
Yeah.
Or venomous. So yeah, watch out for those.
Well, if you've ever seen that documentary Black Sheep.
That's a documentary. It's a good documentary right there.
Yeah.
About the dangers of sheep in Kiwi land. It's bad. It's bad sheep. That's the subtitle. Black sheep equals bad sheep because they're bad.
Get out.
But yeah. So when you go for
running
that?
around. So away for a month or so, and then back for a bit, and then France. So next few podcasts will probably be without me. Then after that, the next one I'll be on, I'll be not on your couch. I'll be somewhere in France, which probably means I need to obtain a microphone that's better than the awful microphone I've done a couple of these on.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll deal with that.
Yeah, you probably will. So yeah, don't leave me alone with Matt, because we just we have the same opinion about pretty much everything, so it's going to bore everyone shitless. We're both miserable. As opposed to
my story about moving house and going to the post office.
Yeah, but
it adds the much needed tension in the podcast.
Dude, that's literally the seasoning on top of the bland porridge that is Matt and I going, hey, you see that game that I like? And you're like, yeah, I like that game too. I'm like, also, I hate everything. Yeah, me too. Fuck everything. And then you come in and go, I went to the post office.
We're like,
and everyone's like, yes, brevity. Exactly what I needed. These miserable fucks. They're too much. So yeah, we'll miss you, you bastard. Come back.
Well, the plan is to come back, so don't worry.
No, we'll come back now. Don't go. That's what I'm saying. Fuck your dreams. Stay on our couch. Make work easier for us. How could you be so selfish?
But anyway, long story short, we're going back to the traditional topic of me not having played any games.
You were trying to divert by going, lol, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
I see. But to be fair, you did kind of give us all of your video games. You're like,
Yeah.
hey guys, see all these games that I never play.
Yeah, because during packing up, I found my PlayStation 3, which to be fair, I hadn't used to play games on for about 3 years. I used it for Netflix and iPlayer. And all
I
those
don't
things.
know what that's like.
I think the last time I played a game on our PS3 was actually I was playing Demolition Racer, the PS1 game, a week ago.
Are quite good PS1s.
Yeah. I can't actually remember the last time I played I think the last time I played a PS3 game on the PS3 was when we recorded Skate for the channel.
Oh shit!
So it's a while ago.
That's a while.
That's at the start of this year.
So yeah, I found all my old PS3 games. So I thought, you guys can have them.
Thank you.
Probably do something with them, maybe.
Oh, probably.
Most of them were mine.
Hey, we don't want to fucking know, okay? Plausible deniability, hombre. That's what we're at. That's what we want.
I guess the one thing that I have done, really managed to squeeze in, going to see the new, well, not Harry Potter, but the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Harry Potter verse film.
I didn't know that was a Harry Potter verse. I thought that was like a new Tim Burton movie.
I can see what you think.
I didn't even. I mean, I'm not into Harry Potter, shock horror. the fact that I'm like, I thought it was a Tim Burton movie. But yeah.
I mean, aside from you being obviously wrong on this,
I'm entitled to my opinion, no matter how wrong it may be.
yeah, it was really good. It's set in the Harry Potter verse, but like it's set in the 20s. So what in the like when Harry's at school and things, one of the textbooks they have is called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
It wasn't the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Didn't they actually release an actual
They
book
made
of that?
a book.
And it was literally like a kind
textbook.
of... Yeah,
thing.
textbook.
Yes. Yeah, that was at some... I can't remember when, like, you know...
So, like, the narrative of the movie is
Yeah.
entirely made up for the movie. It's got nothing to do with the book itself.
Yeah, so the narrative of the film it's based around the guy who wrote that. So the guy who wrote this, like, care guide for magical creatures went around the world finding them and looking after them and things. So the film is about him looking after some creatures. And
So it's based on the book in the same way that the movie Battleship is based on the board game.
They handbrake turn a boat.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get
Rihanna's
started
in
on
it.
Battleship because it's surprisingly brilliant.
I will not have you speak such heresies
No,
in this
okay,
house.
it's a terrible film, but it's incredibly entertaining.
It's
At
really
one point, they
not-
actually play Battleship on the sea. They split the sea into a grid
Yeah.
and start randomly bombing grids, but with a
No.
real boat.
No.
It's fantastically
It's not-
entertaining.
It is not entertaining. It's stupid.
Rihanna is not entertaining.
No, it's like
No, that's
I don't mind Rihanna. It's just she can't fucking act.
No.
She's like, hello, I am apparently 18 people, because like she has like 18 different jobs.
oh yeah, no, yeah. Her job is to be on camera.
Yeah.
Her legit Navy job is to be on camera.
So Rihanna, what's your Navy job? Getting paid. Well, all right then.
Very
That's the
much.
thing. Like maybe she needed a new jacuzzi or something. I don't fucking whatever. It's a Battleship movie. What the fuck do you want? Oh
But yes,
my God.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
So it's set in 20s America. So the guy is It's Eddie Redmayne, who is
Who?
Eddie Redmayne. He can be annoying.
I'm just
he
thinking
was
of
in
Eddie the Eagle,
no,
which is making this a
That
whole
was
lot
a
more
good film.
amusing. I haven't seen that.
that's really good actually. It's as nice. I mean, you've seen Cool Runnings.
Yes.
Yes, it's a very similar feel to that. I mean, it's
Okay.
similar, crap things or
Does it
something
have
good.
John
The,
Candy?
the story of Eddie the Eagle, I remember explaining that.
You were
that to
trying
you.
to explain
Well,
it
we're
to
trying
me.
to explain it to you of saying like, okay, it was this guy who entered the Olympics, and he was the Winter Olympics at the long ski jump.
Yeah.
And he was shit at it, and that's why Britain loved him.
Yes.
Britain is
Because
mean
Britain
and
is amazing.
weird.
Yeah. We just love things that we love. Someone who is earnestly trying, but is still crap.
Is that what you were thinking when we were exchanging our vows? I caught you off guard there, didn't I?
I can't think of anything funny to follow that up with. So you can have that one. You won. Okay.
Thanks. That can be my my anniversary present.
But Eddie Redmayne, yes.
Oh yes. Sorry, tangent to a tangent.
Yeah.
He was in The Danish Girl, which is a fantastic film. Everyone should go watch that. It's really good. And he wasn't annoying in that. And he was in Les Mis, and he was really annoying in that. And he's quite annoying in. I don't know if it's his face or his accent. I don't know. He's just.
I don't know if it's
quite
his
annoying.
face.
But he's not. He's fine in this. He's quite good in this. He's just playing a bit of a bumbly English dude who's ended up in America. And the 20s costumes and cars and things are all cool.
I've just thought about that. An English person in America in the 1920s. How is this not a Lovecraft film?
Maybe it should be.
So there's going to be about 5 of them apparently.
Really?
I mean,
It's modern
films are
films.
franchises.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it's going to go, but there's kind of 2 plots going on. There's like the one plot of he's lost magical creatures and he's gone to find them, and it's all whatever. It's all quite sort of whimsical almost. Similar to the early Harry Potter films, where there's a lot of that. And then as the Harry Potter series goes on, it gets darker and darker, and there becomes a more ongoing threat and an ongoing story throughout the last, I guess, 5 films. But the last bunch of films are all. It's a similar thing. I imagine it's going to become a similar thing. But
Because I've always found that fascinating about the Harry Potter series. Because I read, I think up to the Order of the Phoenix, while they were new.
yeah, I mean,
And how they progressively got more and more adult and darker as the books went on. For kids growing up with them, that would have been perfect.
yeah,
because
because we were about when each one was released, we were a similar sort of age, or they kind of aged similar sort of time with us. So it was kind of like, oh, we're growing up, they're growing up. That's quite nice.
And the stories became more and more mature as they went on, which is really interesting. But I think that must be really weird, like now, if you're reading them like straight through, because basically without that time period between the books being released, you just go, wow, the tone from book 1 to book 5 is so fucking different. And I guess with the movies too, although admittedly I only saw the first
few are like adorably crap. Because the child actors is a very loose term for them.
You see,
yeah, they didn't go down the stranger route of recruiting child actors. They went down the presumably that kid's the daughter of my mate. I'll cast them.
Presumably, how they cast child actors.
The first few films you could tell.
You see, I am so like on the back foot when it comes to like the Harry Potter story, because all I know about the story of Harry Potter, I learned from My Immortal. So. It's
better than that.
I doubt it. Sorry. I don't think there's any piece of fiction that is better than My Immortal, because that is truly a gem of the modern day. I want to see that shit adapted into a movie, because fucking hell, I would spend all of my money going to see that.
I quite liked reading the Harry Potter books when I was reading them. I don't think I'd read them now, because I'm miserable and old.
You should bring some joy into your life.
Yeah, joy's overrated.
He lives with me. There's no room for joy.
I do remember being like quite fun little books to read. Like they were very especially the early ones were very easy to read.
I can kind of understood why he stopped at Order of the Phoenix. That was the hardest one for me. I still enjoyed it, but that was my least favourite. I think I mean, some people like it. I think. Well, I don't dislike it. It's just I think it was for me. It was I can see why you might have stopped at that one.
You know, the only thing that I really, really didn't like about the books, I hated any time it tried to touch upon romance.
Yeah, the films get even weirder with that.
Because it was just always so cringy. Yeah, I think it's because anytime someone... I'm pretty sure at some point the words like snog start being used. And I'm like, no, can we not?
It could be... How about we replace it with the word pash?
No.
Bit of a, an Aussie classic.
Passion.
Yeah, passionate kissing. Like,
yeah.
Do you remember the song by some woman I can't remember the name of called Pash Me? It was really cringy and horrible.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, it was fucking awful.
Yeah, there's a
not as bad as snog. That sounds like, don't touch me gonads, Charlotte. I've got snog.
Now, that does sound like a Harry Potter STD, actually.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
That's something you catch from, like, illicit relations with a fucking house elf. You get snog.
A house elf.
From pashing a house elf.
You get
snog all over your Dumbledore.
Dobby, you bastard! You've given me Snogrot on me bollocks.
Oh no, there'd be a better word than bollocks. It's gotta be.
Well, a wizard's staff has a knob on the end, so.
Yeah.
I suppose it does.
That's a reference for all the cool kids out there.
What the fuck? We're talking about Harry Potter. Harry Potter and like I don't know the goblet of
the new film,
the hairy goblet of fire.
No, Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic. So does that have any deep Harry Potter lore involved?
It mentions a few bits and bobs.
What about them all flavoured beans?
There's a few bits that happen in the Harry Potter books where it talks about things that happened in the past. They're kind of mentioned because they're happening. And presumably that's where it's going to go in the future ones.
So they're going to meet up.
There's not enough of it. Like, you could go and watch it and have not seen a Harry Potter film and you wouldn't be like, what the shit is this?
I should fucking hope so if it's a prequel.
Well, yeah.
Well, not a prequel, but it's set in the same universe before.
But if you know the books and the films quite well, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I see, yeah, cool. Which is quite nice. Yeah, they've done well, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with 5 of the things. But
that's just modern Hollywood now, you know.
They split The Hobbit into like fucking...
There's 3 movies.
3 fucking movies.
I've still not seen those. I feel I probably should.
On Netflix, aren't they, I think?
Yeah,
they were for a while.
I think one of them is.
Fucking hours long.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but at that point, if they didn't have a Lord of the Rings movie or anything that was even tangentially related to the Lord of the Rings be about 14 days long, people would be like, yeah, it's not very long. I'm used to this now, so if it's not long, it's bad. or words to that effect.
Possibly. Maybe not in quite such an insulting voice.
Possibly not.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Lord of the Rings anyway. Bite me. I don't care. Fucking.
You've upset a lot of people.
I wonder
not liking
how
Harry
long.
Potter, not liking Lord of the Rings.
I wonder how long I can complain about things that are popular before somebody complains in writing. Like, dear Snipe, fuck you, fuck the lot of you, And I'm sick of hearing your bullshit opinions. Also, I don't know how they're going to spell that, but I'm really looking forward to it.
I really want someone to write that letter down.
Send me a really lame, obviously not genuinely aggressive piece of mail, and I will read it on air. Because I'm bored. we are doing nothing. We're not playing. This guy's not playing video games. He's not going to be here like next couple of weeks. So we're going to be like fucking dead in the water. We desperately need content. Please send anything in. Your shopping list will do. Dramatic reading of so and so's shopping list. It'll be beautiful, and you'll have to listen to these because this will be your homework.
If you're not caught up with the lore by the time you get back, we'll be very disappointed.
The deep MisanthroPod lore, because you're a part of it. You gotta put some effort in, man. Fuck's sake, get off your couch once in a while.
Yeah.
So we should probably wrap up.
I think we should.
Yeah, probably.
We've probably been recording for like 47 years at this point.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
So we will be played out
Yes.
by the song Gribblies from our new album, Insert Coin.
By Fighting Evil is Cool.
By Fighting Evil is Cool.
Which is us.
Which is us.
Well, most of us.
We're half of the
Or as
band
my dad
anyway.
calls it, Fighting Evil was cool. Because
Oh.
we're not existing anymore.
I thought that was like some low-key shade from your dad, like you were never cool.
It's his way of
Oh,
saying
maybe.
the first album was better.
Yes, which
Nearly was the
almost
title.
was the title of the
Yeah.
album.
But yes, enjoy the song, and you can get it on
All the music
all
sites.
of the music providing sites.
Bandcamp is best because then you get an unrestricted, copyright.
No DRM.
Yeah, no DRM, and you get to choose your format you have it,
Yeah.
and we get a bigger cut.
So help
Not gonna
us
lie.
out here. Yeah.
But anyway, stream it on Spotify or whatever for free. That's also fine.
Yep.
So.
Play us out, us.
Looking down on you, it's hard to say. Is it long or is it the opposite? Never mind, I don't need to handle it. Walk away into the wilderness. Well, I've got to find an animal, something that is rival, and is better than my shit car. That's when I found him. He wants to lose me, but me to beat them. I put my time on him, riding through the air. He don't even care. We're flying through the air. I didn't even know that there was flying there. Whoa. He's a grizzly bear, whoa, and he don't even care. All of a sudden he began to growl, and I thought that he was on the prowl. And he turned his head to me to say, rah, 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 rah. I could not speak the other day, but since I've learned the ways, he said he was a wizard, best sent from space and time. We must defeat them, all of the evil bears made of hay and hair. And if he succeeds, he will devour them, jump a mouthful. We're flying through the air. We're fighting all the evil bears. Whoa, fighting evil bears. Whoa, and the evil bears just die. We're flying through the air. We're fighting all the evil